Well, we're gonna have to go to public land to find the big deer, Tyler.
Why'd he by himself?
He's pretty wide too.
Yeah.
With one decent 3-year-old in it, pretty much.
I'll give you a 10 next year. Looks like.
Any of those $3 right there, please walk out in front of us on public land in Texas. You can back up and probably get another good shot of him. Yeah, he's wide for sure.
Where's the other one with the...
It's in the back. He's got the most mass.
Yeah.
Today, we are on some Texas public land where we love to be in the 103. It's gonna be so hot today. It's gonna be blazing, all right? But we've got some goals, we got some things we need to accomplish, and we gotta do it quick because honestly, by about 3 o'clock, it's gonna be intolerable outside, so.
Noon.
Depending on who you are. Today, we're going to go to places that we've hunted in the past and try to locate and relocate some bucks, hang some cameras, and kind of search for human pressure, all the stuff that we normally do. Right now, specifically, we're on a place that we know real well.
Yeah, I've hunted here. We've both hunted here several times together. I've hunted here by myself quite a bit as well. And basically we're in here after a buck called Teenager. If you followed the story for the last 3 or 4 years now, you might have an idea what this buck is or who he is. We haven't showed a whole lot of pictures of him because he's pretty recognizable, but we'll probably show a few here. And we've got trail camera pictures that let us know that he made it through the season. So we're gonna go hang a camera. We're going to a spot that we have hunted before. We're gonna hang a camera there, and we probably won't get a ton of action there until October or so probably. And then at that point, we're gonna move around to another part of the property to scout. We've scouted, it feels like every square inch of this property. It is a tough one to hunt, but we're gonna buzz in here real quick, do this, and we'll hit you on the other side, let you know what we're seeing on the other side of this thing. This buzz is me. Alright, so this is the trail right here. It crosses a secondary creek. So we're going to release a video, and once we do, about secondary creek crossings, we'll put the link up here so you can check that out. But it's a secondary creek crossing, comes across right here, and I hang in one of these trees. It looks a lot different in here, but I think it's that one right there.
Yeah.
And so it's about a 7-yard shot right here, quartering away if they're going this way, kind of slightly quarter two going this way. And I've hung there several times, had close encounters. Almost killed on the same day you killed the meat buck in 2019.
There's that video.
Yeah, and deer were coming across right here. They do that in the mornings a lot. It's a very good pinch, lots of brush and creek and stuff that way. Nice little grade right here. So, you know, we're not just gonna hang a camera in here to get much this time of year, right?
No, I mean in August we've done this a couple years and not got junked. I mean just nothing. But as soon as like the first acorns start falling, early October, this place kind of turns on, and you end up getting a lot of stuff. And as things steadily ramp up, we'll get some of our target bucks on this camera. So the idea is probably to leave a camera hanging here until November to come check it and see who's been around and what's going on.
Yeah. So
with that, when you're going to hang a camera for a long time, we got to hang this thing high.
Yeah.
Because this place gets a lot of pressure. Get a lot of people trying to steal stuff. Don't be those people.
Yeah.
And
the idea also is that we would get, you know, annual data as well that helps us next year if we don't end up hunting this place a whole lot. So.
And that's the thing with this place is this is a place we know. Like we knew to walk right here and hang a camera. We know it's a good spot for that. Are we going to kill a deer right here? Maybe. It's a good hunting spot too. But more than anything, we just know what deer are around. Like you're saying, annual data, who's going to be there next year and that sort of thing.
I'm going to kill a deer here.
But we got to pick the right tree to hang this camera on right quick, because we still experiment with that almost every year. Ain't got it right yet. This one looks like it's gonna work, but one thing about this spot is that when the area's dry like it is right now, there's no water in this creek, and there are a couple more crossings down through there. They're not as heavy as this one, but we can miss some deer. But one of the good things about leaving a camera out for a long time is, yeah, maybe you miss them that time, but sooner or later you'll have that deer on your camera. So I think still what we're gonna do is we're gonna point this thing down at the heavy crossing right here and just hope that over time we gather that inventory.
We were in here last year about this time and didn't see much human presence in this whole area, so we hung a camera kind of close to the road here, only about 500 yards, and it got a lot of daytime pictures of good shooter bucks. So nothing super patternable as far as like buck to buck, but just overall deer movement in the daytime, in the mornings here a lot. So we're gonna hang a camera again here, and if nothing else, we've got annual data like we talked about, and maybe even a spot to come slip into one day in November or December.
Saw one that looked like this. Way up there. So earlier Tyler thought he heard a deer blowing right in this area. We were, 200 yards back there, and we remember last year the same thing happened. We were approaching on a south wind, and you blow everything out when you're coming in. But walked up right here. This is definitely like a well-used deer bed, not just one that deer hop in, just whenever, but somebody's spending a lot of time here. Maybe not every night, but every once in a while. Hard to say buck or doe. I mean, it's a big old spot, but it's round, so you can tell they just kind of face whatever direction they like to. But definitely some hair and tracks and whatnot in it. So where's Tyler at?
Right?
Look at this. What's the name of that?
Is there hair in it?
Yeah.
There is hair in it.
Lots of hair. Look at that big sucker right there.
Hey, that's a long one.
Belly hair. Top fly on that one.
What kind of beds are these?
I don't have a clue.
They're deer beds.
A while ago, I did an interview where we talked about how it's just hard to tell because it's round, because the deer just faces wherever it wants to. Like, this isn't wind determined bedding. You know what I mean? It's round.
Other than the fact that there's a breeze here for them to keep flies off and stuff.
And if you look, found a little more hair over there. So I don't know if it, I don't know if it's by itself or doe group or what. Yeah, there's hair in that too. It's not quite as well used, but I don't know.
There's hair here, dude. So there's something about like shade, possibly. But what else?
What?
I guess it's just flat.
Right over there.
The camera location is right there, like 60 yards.
So really, this could be like a bachelor group or something.
Could be.
At this time of year, right? Didn't you say something about that on the camera?
Yeah, there was a bachelor group in August on there. One shooter. Yeah.
Showed high. So maybe we were just picking them up off this.
Well, there's browse and this stuff right here too.
Sure enough is. They feel like they can bail off in there and be safe, One thing about this camera placement, we haven't seen any human pressure here at all. So I'm not going to be too scared about hanging it down at deer height. And I think that's what we did last year. It worked out just fine for us. Now that can always change from year to year on public, but
this place doesn't appeal on the map really.
No.
That's like, I think a big thing about keeping the pressure down in here is that, and even when you boot scout and walk in, it's like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But where we're hanging this camera, if we were coming in here off fresh knowledge, we wouldn't just say, oh, let's put it there. But we had such a good camera hang last year because we just kind of opted out and just hung it somewhere to see what happens. And
we did a big loop.
Yeah.
And it was we got to the point where we were like getting closer to the truck. We were like, okay, well, there's a bunch of tracks in here. It's not as good as what some of the stuff we saw further back is necessarily, but let's just hang it here and come back and get it. And we did.
And it worked out.
It proved that the tracks were actually current. And
so the idea behind it is that we're hanging it on a DMA, a place where we know just deer are gonna use this area. And you just pretty much want to hang your camera where it's pointing at the best open spot to catch a deer passing through.
So we're here at the first persimmon grove. Our idea on this side of this property is to find persimmons that deer might be going to in the early season. And there's quite a few in this first little grove. I thought there was last year as well. It's a good little place. The thing is, it is like right off the road, so you could definitely stick a camera here, and we might, who knows, but you would probably have to be backtracking, seeing which way the deer are coming from, and trying to figure things out from there, because I think a lot of this is going to be nighttime.
Sounds like a lot of work, yeah, to figure out where the deer's at from here, whereas if you go back in a little further, maybe you have a chance to actually just shoot one at the persimmon tree. We'll walk down a little bit further and just check it out. It's only going to be a couple more 100 yards, and then if not, we can just put a camera here because it'll be easy to pull. Like, it's tempting to be like, oh, look at these persimmons, man. There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch right over there too. I mean, like, there's a bunch right here, but they're not working towards like some agriculture food source. You know what I mean? At least not right now.
Well,
when these persimmons are falling. So
but
like,
I think they're going to end up in open areas at night still.
Maybe.
I mean, dude, we did thermal scouting last year and found
True, they were out there, but I'm just, there's a chance they don't. Because like if you had corn or beans or something like that, they definitely would, you know. But like this might be, persimmons might be the
destination.
Food. So you might need to find some of the first persimmons down towards the deer bedding habitat.
Down near creeks and stuff like that.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna mark these, and then we'll go further. I mean, I think it might be persimmon trees the whole way that way, but that way is kind of the deer.
Man, there's a bunch.
There's a bunch.
It's very hot. It's really starting to warm up. This is gonna be one of the hottest days of the summer, like we mentioned earlier. And we're, you know, sun's directly overhead now. Feels pretty good in this persimmon thicket. There's a little wind coming in, kind of open back this way. So maybe this is an area we're hoping that deer will show up in the daylight, get a little breeze, a little shade, and then also get persimmons in October once they start to fall. What we're gonna do is hang this thing back towards some ground that used to flood, it looked like, back when we had rains this spring, and it's kind of cleared. It's just gonna make it easy pickings for them, and I think that they're gonna spend a lot of time there underneath these trees that are throwing a bunch right now. There's actually an orange one right there, so you know, I don't think it'll be too long before a few of them start dropping, especially if it's dry. Too. And they'll eat them green, yeah. So anyway, Casey's gonna drop this in here. It's not too far off the road, but it's not too close either. So if we can get some daylight footage here, I mean, this could be a great place for us to slip in on a west wind or something like that, maybe a southwest, and just come in and exercise our right to thread the needle with some deer. So.
I love it. Let's go eat some lunch. Yeah,
dude, like that deer might be legal this year, you know?
I know, dude. He's got some potential. Good three. Hot potato. Man, it looks so much bigger until you get your hand on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
it does.
Dude, I'll shoot that deer this year.
Oh, I guarantee you.
Heck yeah. Nice. Woo!